Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a full moon in Scorpio, so we're going to do a full moon in Scorpio reading and see what is going on with these sacred partners in this collective. I'm going to start with the Moonology deck and get an overall energy, see what is going on. Do make sure that you check out the daily energy draws this week. They were very powerful messages there, including today's daily, which I'll put a link in the description box below. We talked a little bit about the full moon. I hadn't looked into the full moon when I was recording those dailies, but I was feeling like there was going to be a very powerful shift for these sacred partners as a result of going deep within, listening to the intuition. And that does seem like that is what is coming forth. There's a sense of rebirth. The death card in tarot is Scorpio energy. And that is rebirth, that is transformation, because from death comes transition. From death comes that new beginning, comes that rebirth, because life is cyclical like that. So it does feel like there is a major shift and a major transformation. We're going to look into that today and see what is going on here. So let's get right into it and see what's going on for this full moon in Scorpio. Spirit, what's going on for this full moon in Scorpio for these sacred partners? What do you have to say to us? What's going on for these sacred partners for the full moon in Scorpio? Overall energy, please. Overall energy, please. Emotions are running high. Well, if that isn't, if that isn't the truth, I don't know what is. We also do have a super moon. It's a super full moon, which means the energy is heightened. It is intense. It is the last super full moon of the season, I believe it is. Yeah, emotions are running high. I'll let you guys know, I spent all day in bed yesterday just sleeping, needing to go within, needing to just feel what I was feeling, but just the energy felt very drained. And I know that there was a lot that was going on energetically in the energetic realms, that there was a lot of work that was being done, a lot of healing that was being had energetically, and I was feeling that in my physical body. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I had some channel messages that you guys might be oscillating between emotions and extremes. When it comes to your physical body, you might be feeling these shifts as well, because there's a lot of light codes and activations going on within the body, especially the heart chakra. The heart chakra is opening. The heart chakra is continuing to expand to allow for those light codes and those light activations to come in. I'm also hearing some of you might be expanding in your gifts. I know that I've been experiencing that over the past few weeks. Divine masculines, what I'm hearing is an opening of the crown chakra and the brow chakra. You're gaining more insight, you're receiving more downloads and more intuitive hits, and you're learning how to trust your intuition. But coming back to the physical body, because of all these light activations, chakra activations, these light codes that are coming in, your cellular structure, your DNA is actually shifting and changing and opening up, so to speak. And because of that, your physical body is going through some shifts as well. So you might be called to rest and sleep more, or you might have the other extreme where you're having high motivation. You might be feeling a loss of appetite, or you might be on the other end where you're feeling ravenous and you want to eat everything in sight. Or you might be oscillating and switching between the two at any given moment. And it's a call for you to listen to your body, listen to your intuition, listen to your guidance, your inner guidance. What are you being called to? I know we are programmed, conditioned to go beyond our limits, but this is really about getting in tune with ourselves, getting in tune with our bodies, getting in tune with our heart, and really listening to that guidance versus what other people or what our programming dictates to us. So, for example, if we're conditioned to push beyond our limits and go, 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 rather than resting when our body's calling for rest, then this is a time to understand that your body, your intuition, circumvents any of that programming. If you are, programmed or conditioned to eat at this time versus that time, but you're hungry, it's your body's call for nourishment. So listen to your intuition. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to that inner guidance. The more you listen to that inner guidance when it comes to your body, the more you're able to listen to your inner guidance when it comes to other areas of your life. That includes relationships, home life, career, business, finances. It's a real call to trust in yourself and listen to where your body, where your soul, where your heart is directing you, because it's all for your benefit. Your soul is directing you for your benefit. That inner guidance is your soul self, your higher self that is directing you for your benefit. So coming back to this, emotions are running high. That is an understatement. It is, again, a Scorpio full moon. So we have not only the full moon, which is release energy, transformation energy, manifestation energy, I'm also hearing, but it's the Scorpio, which is very deep. They are very deep, very in touch with their emotions, very in touch with their intuition. So this, when I'm talking about the body, when I'm talking about your inner guidance, it's really about getting in touch with your needs, really about getting in touch with your intuition, really about getting in touch with your emotions and your heart space. It's going deep within. Over the past few, nice, your hard work is paying off. We'll get to that in a second because there's a message there. Over the past few weeks on the channel here in the Sacred Union and Ascension Energy Updates, do make sure remember to check out both because we talk about sacred partnerships in both. In those readings, we've been talking about Ascension as a whole, and the Hierophant card has been coming out for me as a card of Ascension. And what they've been telling me is that we are entering a new level of Ascension with our sacred partners. Your sacred partner, for those in my collective, you have gone through an awakening, an immense awakening. And what I'm hearing right now is, especially for Divine Masculines, you're stabilizing the energy. Divine Feminines, you're doing this as well by maintaining your balance, maintaining your peace, maintaining your boundaries, and knowing what it is that you deserve. You are in your power. You are in your Empress energy, where you know what it is that you deserve. And I had this, I'm going to get this. Hold on. I had a client this week, and this was a message for her, but it was so powerful that I want to mention it for you guys as well. This is from the Tarot Sexual Magic deck. And this card came out. This is the Empress. Look how powerful that Empress is. That is Divine Feminine embodied in that card. That energy is just so powerful. Look at this card. She has dropped her shield around her heart. She is open and vulnerable. But that vulnerability is sexy. That vulnerability is confidence. That vulnerability is knowing her worth. That vulnerability is power. She is on her throne. She has her crown. She knows what she's worth. She knows where she's going. She doesn't need that shield around her heart anymore because she knows who she is. That is Divine Feminine energy, pure Divine Feminine energy. There's a flow here. There's a magic here. There's a power here. She knows how to set her boundaries. She knows her own self-respect. She knows how to command respect for herself from others. That is Divine Feminine energy here. Beautiful Divine Feminine energy. And that is where Divine Feminine is in her power. That is where she has stepped up and is maintaining that balance, maintaining those boundaries, truly knowing what it is that she is worth. Divine Masculine, in the meantime, is really stabilizing their energy from their awakening. They are having tower moments, but the tower moments feel more like revelations, realizations, especially around their emotions. They too are dropping their guard, that protective layer around their heart, and they are learning to tap into their emotions and understand that their emotions aren't necessarily a bad thing. They had possibly been conditioned, especially for male Divine Masculines, been conditioned since childhood, since birth, that emotions were something to be suppressed, not to be expressed, because of expectations that others had on them, possibly even the patriarchy as a whole, society as a whole, but even going back to family members or guardians or siblings, they had suppressed that part of themselves that was learned behavior. And so they learned unhealthy emotions or unhealthy coping mechanisms, whereas now they're starting to tap into that feminine energy within them and understand what it means to express themselves and communicate honestly with themselves, communicate with others in a healthy manner. By tapping into their emotions, allowing themselves to feel their emotions rather than suppressing them and holding them down, bottling them up inside. They're really learning how to tap into their own intuitive nature. And where there was once a viewpoint of distorted feminine energy around them, They're understanding what that healthy, because you are being in your power, divine feminine. You're being in that divine nature of yourself. Divine masculine is seeing what divine feminine energy truly is, rather than the distorted energy that they either held within themselves or that they saw from the feminine energy around them, either mothers or sisters or friends or partners. They saw that there was distortions there, and there were distortions within themselves. And so now that they're healing that feminine energy within themselves, learning how to express themselves, learning how to be open to their emotions, learning how to be honest with themselves, learning how to communicate in a healthy manner, they're seeing the divine feminine in her glory, and that is helping, and in her power, and that is helping the divine masculine to heal the feminine energy within themselves, and thus heal the feminine energy in their vicinity with the feminine energy around them. No longer looking at it at the feminine energy as a collective, as a whole, as a distortion. Wow. Wow. Okay, so, oh yeah, bottom of the deck. Your hard work is paying off. The message that was coming through was the end of heavy, heavy, heavy karmic cycles are coming to a close. I know I felt this for myself, that it just feels like a new chapter is here. It really feels like I've turned the page and I'm ready for it. And I feel like that's the collective energy, especially divine feminines. You knowing your worth and being in your power, you're just ready for the next chapter of your life. And whether that, for some, it's going to include soulmates and other partners. For some, that is going to include your divine masculine. Now, don't let that trigger you. Take it as it resonates for you. If it feels good to invite in a soulmate or another partner, then you know that that's what's meant for you. I don't feel like divine feminine is waiting for their divine masculine anymore, even if they're not choosing soulmates or partners. I feel like divine feminine, they're really recognizing their hard work. They're recognizing the transformation within themselves. They're recognizing that they are this empowered feminine energy. And as that empowered feminine energy, merging the spiritual with the human, which we've talked about before, I'm not going to get into that, but merging, understanding that you're a spiritual being, but having this human experience, and thus having this human experience, you're able to manifest a positive human experience because you have changed and transformed in such a positive light. You have raised your vibrations and stabilized that energy in such a positive way. That's your hard work paying off. So for some of you, you are focusing on yourself and your life and continue to create and manifest the life of your dreams. This could be a dream home. This could be a dream business. This could be for some, again, a dream partnership. But it doesn't have to be a romance. It could be friendships. It could be people more aligned with your visions. This could be even working on your own spiritual growth and soul growth on your spiritual journey, opening up your gifts even more, doing those sacred studies. So take it as it resonates for you, but these divine feminines are really focused on their path. And for some, you are welcoming in a soulmate or another romantic partner as part of that path. For others, you're still, there's always love for your divine counterpart there. The love always remains, but for others, you're pulling back that energy and putting that back on yourself and whatever it is that you're manifesting for yourself, because you recognize that there's a new chapter, that the hard work that you've put in to yourself especially is paying off for the growth and the transformation and the empowerment that you're feeling within yourself. They are coming in with a message for divine masculines as well. Divine masculines, yeah, they just said, look at the bottom. Have faith in your dreams. Continue to have faith because your hard work is paying off as well. Divine masculines, even if it doesn't seem like it to the divine feminines, divine masculines have been going through it. Going through it. They have been transforming in incredible, incredible ways. The transformations are more internal rather than external. However, what I'm hearing is that is going to begin manifesting in the external world. So divine feminines, you might not be seeing the investment, so to speak. You might not be seeing your divine masculine putting in the effort in your connection. You might not be seeing them putting in the effort for their life, but that's because a lot of what they have been going through, the work that they have been doing, is clearing the karma, and that karma is energy. They've been clearing that toxic energy within them, and as a result, they're going to begin clearing that toxic energy in their life. Remember when I said that they have been experiencing tower moment after tower moment after tower moment? Those are revelations. Those are breakthroughs. Those are epiphanies. Those are shifts in consciousness that divine masculine is having. And those shifts in consciousness are transformative for the soul. That is soul growth that divine masculine is experiencing. And so the more they're experiencing that within, the more they are understanding that their outside world is not aligned to who they are within now and who they are wanting to become. And so that's where their hard work is paying off, because they're starting to believe again. For a very long time, divine masculine could not believe in their happiness because of their lack of sense of self, a sense of identity, because of their lack of a sense of worth or value. They went along with what others expected of them. They went along with their duties of what others expected of them. They just self-sacrificed to the point where they didn't know themselves. What's happening now is they've had these epiphanies and breakthroughs and awakenings where they recognize themselves now. They're starting to understand themselves. Again, they're starting to feel their emotions. And as they feel their emotions and understand themselves, they're understanding that they have dreams that are worthwhile, that they are worthwhile, and that their happiness is something worth fighting for. And so they're learning to have faith in their dreams. They're learning to work towards their dreams. And as they have more shifts within, as they start to, or continue to, I should say, as they continue to do the clearing within, clearing that karma, clearing any of those false beliefs or patterns that they know now, they are consciously aware of the things that are not in alignment with who they are and who they want to become. Maybe it was in alignment with them in a past version of themselves, but it's not in alignment with who they are and who they want to become. And so they're working on and learning to clear out anything that isn't in alignment anymore. And that does include family, friends, partners, and career, home life, patterns, beliefs that just don't align anymore. Some of those things they've recognized have just held them back. And we talked about this in, I think it was today's daily, which was about the full moon in Scorpio. It was, don't let the past hold you back. For a lot of these divine masculines, they allowed people, especially family, friends, romantic partners, and this could even be beliefs and patterns, so take it as it resonates, but especially the people around them, they let those people hold them back into who they were, box them into who they were, not letting them grow and become who they truly are and want to be. Now, that's not coming from a place of, it's not like a nefarious thing. It's not coming from a place of, they necessarily want to hold them down. It's not like these people are evil, or so to speak. But it's just coming from a place of comfort. So, for example, if your family knows a past version of you and you begin to grow and expand and change, that's getting your family out of their comfort zone, because now they're having to grow and expand and change and see you in a different light. So these people that are surrounding these divine masculines, it's a sense of control where they're unconsciously, subconsciously trying to hold these divine masculines back out of a sense of control and a sense of comfort of, well, this is who you've always been. This is who I know you to be. I don't know this new version of you. And who am I if I don't know this new version of you? But divine masculine is really recognizing this. They're becoming enlightened to this. And they're saying, if you don't want to come with me into this new version of me, then I have to let you go, because I can't hold myself back. It's what I'm seeing, what Spirit is showing me is divine masculine has been in the safety of a cocoon. And the cocoon is what other people have expected of them, what other people have painted of them, and even what they have painted of themselves. The version of themselves, the past version of them. And divine masculine is struggling to break free, wanting to break free. It feels like a very desperate energy, a needing to break free, to fly and become this butterfly. But there are people in their life, and this could even be themselves, these past patterns, but it's really outside influences that are coming in and holding them back and saying, but no, you're the caterpillar. I've always known you as a caterpillar. I don't know you as a butterfly. Divine Masculine is recognizing this and finding the strength with their dreams in mind, with their own happiness in mind, not the happiness of others. Again, that's that self-sacrifice energy that they are relieving themselves of, because they recognize that they can't sacrifice their own dreams and happiness for other people anymore, that they have to go their way, that they have to do what is right for them, what is meant for them. That's their hard work that's paying off. They are cutting the cord, so to speak, the energetic cord at the very least, and they are breaking free in order to fly. Because these divine masculines that I'm channeling here, they dearly, dearly want to break free from their old self and want to fly. And they want to fly with you, divine feminine, because they are recognizing it's like your two butterflies flying together. And it's this energy that just showed me. They just showed me this vision. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like there are people down here who are holding them back and saying, no, but stay in your cocoon, stay in the comfort zone, stay in the caterpillar energy that I knew you as. And Divine Masculine is saying, no, I have to fly now. And as they break free, they're breaking free to become the butterfly, and they're meeting you because they're already seeing you as a butterfly. Divine Masculine is already seeing you as having broken free. They're seeing you as already standing in your power, and you are a guiding light for them. You give them hope that this is possible. And so they're learning how to spread their wings and break free from this chrysalis as well, from this cocoon, so to speak, as well. And they're rising up to meet you so that you can both fly together. You see how they're individual, but they're joined. Look at how they're joining hands here. And they're joining in these hearts. There's these hearts. There's these stars. This is joy. This is love. You're joining each other, rising together as Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Individual, unique in your embodiment, but one. Joining together as one. Flying together as one. Beautiful. Oh, and it's a soulmate card. I love that. See? Beautiful. Okay. So, that came in a rush of energy. And I know I was talking fast. I could feel it, but there was so much there. So what I want to do is see what's being surrendered with this full moon for both Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. Get some oracle cards here. See what is being surrendered here for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Okay, what's being surrendered for the Divine Masculine during this full moon? What's being surrendered during this full moon? Surrender unhealthy relationships. Exactly what we were just talking about. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. This is exactly it. Divine Masculines have been holding themselves back based on what they knew, based on people that were surrounding them, because that was their comfort zone. That was what they knew. Divine Feminine, you came into the picture and you helped them see themselves in a brand new light. You helped them see what they were truly worthy of. You helped them see that something new was possible for them. Something greater was possible for them, for their life. You gave them hope. You helped them have faith in themselves and their dreams. I'm also hearing you helped them dream again and find passion in life again. And that was part of there's a Divine Masculine coming in and saying, that's what scared the shit out of me. That's what scared the shit out of me. That's why they ran. Because it was so intense. There was so much love coming from you as a Divine Feminine energy, which they hadn't known before. That unconditional love they hadn't known before. Love before had attachment and conditions and control around it. And so that was that distorted energy, that distorted feminine energy that had surrounded them before. Not to say that there wasn't love there. There was love there, but it was a love with attachment. It was a love with strings attached. It was a love with conditions and control attached to it. But here you are, Divine Feminine, and you are showing Divine Masculine what it is to love themselves and what it is to fully be open and love another. And with their guarded heart, that blocked heart, that scared them because they hadn't been able to fully express themselves, who they are, be honest with themselves about their emotions, if ever, for a very long time. And so you came in, and it's like any guard that they had around their heart, any ice that they had used to freeze their heart, completely melted in your presence. And so that made them have to take a look at their life, which was very uncomfortable for them. They did not like doing this. They had to take a look at their life and see what was out of alignment with what their heart was truly feeling, with what their intuition was truly telling them, what was out of alignment with love. And they're recognizing that a lot of the relationships that they had nurtured and fostered over their lifetime was not healthy, not a healthy love. Now, what I'm hearing from Spirit is the more divine masculine becomes healthy in love themselves, the more they recognize the toxicity in themselves and heals that toxicity within themselves, the more they're able to heal the relationships with those around them. For some, it is about completely cutting any toxic relationships out. For some, it's about setting boundaries. For some, it's about self-identity. So let me clarify that. So for some divine masculines, they're recognizing that the new version of them and who they want to be isn't in alignment with some friends or family or coworkers or whatever it is. So they do have to physically separate from that toxic energy. Some energy can be so toxic that there is a physical separation that is necessary. But for the most part, divine masculine energy, the more they step into their own self-love, which is saying no when they want to say no, which is saying yes when they want to say yes, which is not self-sacrificing, which is not bowing down to meet the expectations and needs of others, which is setting boundaries for themselves, which is honoring themselves. Now, this isn't in a selfish way. This isn't in a manipulative way for themselves. This is honoring themselves by knowing themselves. And the more they feel into their emotions, again, the more you understand, get in touch with your body, in tune with your body and your intuition, the more you're in tune with your natural self, the more you're in tune with your soul self. Divine Masculine is really opening up their crown chakra and their brow chakra to understand themselves, to get in touch with their intuition, which is getting in touch with their spirit center. So the more they do this, the more they're coming into alignment with themselves. And the more they come into alignment with themselves, the more they're recognizing those who aren't energetically in alignment with them. And so they'll either be cutting the energetic cord, stepping away from putting some distance between these other relationships, or they'll be maintaining their boundaries because of their newfound sense of self-worth. This again can be saying no, recognizing where other people are trying to control them or manipulate them, and standing up for themselves, honoring themselves, cherishing themselves enough to say, this isn't right for me. Thank you, it might be right for you, but this isn't right for me. This is where they're surrendering that toxicity. And the more they recognize themselves, the more they understand themselves and their own sense of identity, the more they're able to recognize any toxic elements within themselves that was still paired with their friends and family and coworkers that were toxic and unhealthy. So let's say you have a toxic coworker, for example, someone that you just are not vibing with, but they're still in your vicinity. They're constantly in your awareness. Their behavior just feels very unhealthy to you, controlling or manipulative or whatever it is, for example. And you're recognizing, you're going deep within and learning how to get in tune with your emotions, learning how to look at yourself. And you're seeing a trait within yourself that this person holds as well. The more you heal that, the more you're able to either heal that connection or that connection will fade away. Because you'll either uphold boundaries for yourself and say, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm respecting myself more. I'm maintaining this boundary. And that person will either respect that boundary and your relationship will get better, or that relationship will fade away. So it's all about the self. It's all about honoring the self, recognizing the self. And that's what Divine Masculine is really doing. They are understanding themselves, identifying with themselves more. And again, that's either going to heal or surrender, for lack of a better word, the toxicity within those relationships. Those relationships will fade away because Divine Masculine is raising in their vibrations, and anything not in alignment with that will naturally either rise up to meet that or fade away. But it's because they're maintaining their boundaries, they're not self-sacrificing anymore, they're honoring themselves, they're honoring their emotions, they're recognizing where other people were controlling them or manipulating them and putting a stop to that. And more than that, they're going towards people like Divine Feminine, for example, who are of a more high vibration and a positive energy. So really leaving behind the negative energy, the toxic energy, in order to align more with Divine Masculine, how they're changing and transforming into this higher vibration. Now they're moving towards more positive energy, where they had once felt trapped in that negative energy. Now they're learning how to let that go, surrender those relationships, let go of those relationships, and move into relationships that really are more nurturing to their soul, because again, that is what they're craving. This new chapter for Divine Masculines, they're craving alignment. They're craving people who understand them, who respect them, who allow them to be free in who they are, and allow them to express themselves in truth of who they are and not hold them back into who they used to be. So that's where they're surrendering those unhealthy or toxic relationships. It really is about people who once knew them and were trying to pigeonhole them into who they were for their comfort zone. Not for Divine Masculine's comfort zone, but for their own comfort zone and control. And Divine Masculine is really breaking free from that by surrendering those unhealthy relationships here. Whew. Divine Feminine, what are you surrendering? What's Divine Feminine surrendering? Beautiful. Surrenders, complete healing. And I just want to point out that picture. That's that feminine energy that we were getting from here. Look at how flowing she is in this picture. Look at how free she is in that picture. That is that free flow of love with the Divine Feminine. It says, open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Divine Feminine, you are just blossoming. You are just ready for that next chapter of your life because of the transformation that you have undergone. You are really in that energy of balance within yourself. You're recognizing your worth. You're recognizing your spirit. You're recognizing your value and your love and your heart. And so because of that, you are just surrendered. When something comes up, you know how to clear it, or you know how to sit with yourself, to work through it, to come back to your center, come back to that balance, to come back to that divine energy within you. This has an energy of just recognizing your heart, recognizing your divinity, recognizing the power within you. And when I say power, I'm not meaning power as in power of the paradigm we know on this earth. I'm talking source energy power. I'm talking God's power, God's love. You are recognizing that oneness within you, balancing and integrating that energy within you. This is beautiful. You are really surrendering to transformation and soul growth. Beautiful. I don't have anything else to say about that. That's just really beautiful energy there. All right, what we're going to do, we are going to get some tarot and see what's going on between you two. All right, they just had me look on the bottom of the deck as a union energy, and we have surrender your fear of intimacy. So I feel like this is the energy between you two where you're both surrendering. And look at the purple and the pink here, the crown chakra energy that we have here. This is both of you recognizing the connection and being open to the connection and to each other. It says, you are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening up your heart. Look at divine masculine, divine feminine energy there. This is the energy between you guys. This is the energy where you are both recognizing the connection, recognizing the love between you two, and you are working to heal together. No longer looking at healing as a block to intimacy. No longer looking at the patterns and the emotions and whatever else is a trigger that comes up. You're no longer looking at the triggers as a block. Now you're looking at the triggers as a way that you can heal together and become more intimate with one another, where you can deepen your bond with one another, where you can become more vulnerable and emotionally intimate with one another. You are surrendering, both of you are surrendering to this love with one another and coming closer and closer together. So with this energy here, with divine masculine, again, the more they surrender those toxic, unhealthy relationships, the more they're moving into that high vibrational energy and inviting in that love, inviting in that positive energy, aligning with that positive energy, which means aligning with their divine feminine. For you, divine feminines, the more you are opening up your heart to that flow, to that balance, letting down your guard. Again, with this card, it's so powerful here. She's not holding that shield anymore. She doesn't need it. She's open to love. The more you're doing this, the more you're coming together in that intimacy with your counterpart. And I'm going to relay something here. I'm going to relay a story here because it feels important and I want to mention it. A personal story. What was interesting was I spent some time with my divine masculine the past weekend. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. It was harmony. It was happiness. It was playfulness. It just felt like we were completely vibing and in sync the way it was meant to. Love was flowing between us the way it always should have. It's just the karma and the soul sludge that comes up between you guys, the fears and the blocks and the toxic energy. Not that you two are toxic in and of yourselves, but it's the karma, that energy, what you've experienced, all that baggage that weighs you down, that soul sludge, as I like to call it, that comes up between you guys to be healed. And what I found was I had done a healing with a dear friend this past weekend, an energy healing, and she had helped me to unblock my heart. And so at the beginning of the week, after spending the weekend with my divine masculine, at the beginning of the week, there were some major triggers and some upheaval between me and my divine masculine. But even though I was angry, my heart was still open. I didn't let myself block my heart off again. I didn't let that shield go around my heart again. The love that I felt for and from my divine masculine was still open and still flowing. And so that's what's happening. That's what's transforming, is you're still allowing yourself to love and be loved without that guard that once went up. Immediately, if you were triggered, that guard would go up. Now, divine feminines, you are opening to that flow of love and staying open to that flow of love. And the more you stay open to that flow of love, the more divine masculine is feeling that. And the more they're wanting that for themselves, feeling that for themselves, and recognizing for themselves anywhere where there are blocks to that love, and anywhere where there is unhealthy love, any unhealthy attachments, unhealthy or toxic energy that is just keeping them from that flow of love. And the more you maintain that openness with one another, that vulnerability, that expression, that communication with one another, the more you're able to come together in this new cycle, in this new intimate cycle. This is emotional intimacy, physical intimacy as well, because that's all part of it, that sacred sexuality. But more importantly, it's that openness, it's that flow of love. That is what freedom and love truly is. It's allowing that love to flow between you two without the blocks, without the fears, without the, even if you're triggered, it's not the guards. You're not having that protective layer around your heart. You're allowing yourselves to be seen, fully seen, in this intimate connection with one another. That's beautiful. This just feels like, this feels very sacred. This feels very intimate now. Like you're wanting that intimacy with one another. And I feel like both of you are craving that with one another. And so that's where you're surrendering to that fear. Beautiful. All right. Let's get a couple of tarot cards and see where we are with Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energy. I love it. I love it. We have the Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And I feel like what's being worked through with this full moon is you're releasing any regret around the past. Any remorse, any regret, any feelings of how it didn't work out before. You're releasing that because this feels like a brand new cycle. Look at how bright these cards are here. You have the Page of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Strength card. This feels like such positive energy. And look at how in comparison to this Five of Cups. Recognizing that there's still two cups standing. This is those cups of love that you have for each other for this partnership. Releasing the past, allowing yourself to fully release the past, who you used to be, in order to start that next chapter, in order to turn the page. Again, it's that Hierophant card where you're ascending into another level of ascension, another level of your journey, your life journey, and your spiritual journey, but you're doing it together. Again, that intimacy. You're surrendering the fear of intimacy in order to come together in this sacred union, in this sacred bond. And you're releasing the past, releasing who you used to be, releasing any regrets around lost opportunities, missed opportunities, around the past, around relationships that didn't work out, any dreams that didn't seem to work out, recognizing that you still have a future to build. That's where that have faith in the future is for the Divine Masculines, where they're recognizing that they can create their future now. They don't have to keep looking back on the past with that regret. They can create the future that they've always wanted for themselves. So here we have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Strength card. Beautiful energy coming in where this feels like opening up to express yourself, opening up to that communication, opening up to that emotion here. And they're showing me the flowers on his vest, on his tunic. You see how it's like lotus flowers? From the mud, from the muck, the flower blooms. And I feel like this is fresh bloom. I feel like this is putting the past behind. Putting any of this energy, any of this. It's almost like he knows that these cups are knocked down. And he's turning around and he's picking up that cup and he's offering it to a Divine Feminine. He's now offering that cup of love for himself and for his Divine Feminine. And that cup is full. That cup is full because he has been blossoming. Divine Masculine has been transforming from those tower moments, from that mud. He's no longer staying stuck in the mud. He is making something from it. He's making something from it. And it feels like taking action towards each other because you're gaining that strength, control over the ego, balancing out that ego and the intuition, learning to trust the intuition here, taming the ego so that there's no more fear here. There's no more regret here. They're not trapped in this energy of regret. And because they're not trapped in that energy of regret, it's not holding them back from taking action. Let's get some more. What's going on here? Yeah, that's the end. That is the end. That is that new chapter. Yes. Love it. So they're putting the burdens down. That regret that they were feeling in the past, looking at the past, feeling that past pain, feeling that past betrayal. And this is for you too, Divine Feminines, but I really feel like this is Divine Masculine energy moving through their transformation in order to come towards you. That cycle has come to a close. That chapter has come to a close. It's done. It's over. Divine Masculines are no longer clinging to that. They're no longer holding on to that. They're recognizing that it's done. They're recognizing that the past is in the past and that they have an opportunity for this new beginning here with the Page of Cups. And they're ready because of this. It's for progression here. That's what they're giving me. They're giving me like recent past, present energy, near future energy. This is done. This is over. This is in the past. And because they're letting go of their past pain, past regrets, recognizing that it's done, it's over with, they're ready to move on with their life, they are taking that cup and they are filling it themselves with their own self-love, their own self-worth, their own self-value. They are blooming, they are blossoming, and they are ready to just charge forward with this offer, with this communication that is sincere, that is real, that is tangible. And what I like about this is it's emotional, but it's also very stable. It's also very, very grounded, very balanced. It's not in and out. It's not hot and cold. It's something that is tangible. And I like the page here rather than the knight, because the knight can be a little bit immature. I know the page is young, but this doesn't have an immature energy about it. This just has a freshness about it. It has a youthful, playful energy about it. It has a new beginning energy about it. Whereas the knight can be a little bit overwhelming. They can charge in too fast, and that can be a little bit immature. It can be a little bit off-putting, especially to divine feminines, if they come in very hot. That can be, wait a minute. Divine feminines can be saying, wait a minute. Is this real? Is this true? Do you really want this new beginning? With the pages here, it does feel like that fresh energy. It feels like that fresh start, because divine masculines are putting that to an end, putting the past to an end. This feels like a new chapter. It really feels like not just a new chapter, but it feels like a brand new book. It feels like the sequel. And in the sequels, you have the same characters, you have the same settings, you have the same protagonists and antagonists as well. You have, everything's familiar in the sequel, but it's a brand new book, it's a brand new story. It's a new energy in the sequel. And I know there's going to be those of you who are like, well, the sequel is not usually better than the original. This is a fresh start where it can be better than the original. The sequel, you can write your own story now. You can create and manifest the book of your dreams. That's what Divine Masculine is recognizing, that they can write the story of their dreams in this sequel. But they had to close the book on the past first. And so what's happening here is they are taking action for their life, taking action for this connection, coming in with this communication and this offer for their divine feminine that is much more stable than divine feminine has ever recognized in divine masculine before, because divine masculine is feeling stable and secure and confident within themselves. They're feeling strong. They're taming, again, their ego, learning to get in touch with their emotions here, and learning to take charge of their life in a much more balanced way. Where before other people might have been in charge of their life, where before they might have felt like they had to bend to the will of other people, where other people were manipulating them or controlling them. This is divine masculine putting up those boundaries and taking the reins for themselves in a much more balanced way. There's that moon energy. Let's see, where is this going for this connection? King of Wands, taking action. Where is this going for this connection? The Four of Pentacles and the Lovers and the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Your divine masculine is taking action. Your divine masculine is not willing to let go of this connection. Divine masculine is recognizing this connection and what it means to them. And divine feminine is a message for you that you don't have to hold on so tightly as you were, because of the recognition that your divine masculine has. You're both working towards your Ten of Cups. You're both working towards your happiness, your manifestations here. Yeah, you're both manifesting this. You're both manifesting this. And because you're both manifesting this, divine feminines, you don't have to hold on as tightly as you did, because it's like you don't have to chase the words that we use, in this journey. You don't have to chase anymore, because just focus on yourself, just focus on your empowerment, just focus on your journey, because your divine masculine is coming towards you. Your divine masculine is meeting you where you are. Again, this feels like a very powerful image. Because you've become the butterfly, divine feminine, your divine masculine is breaking free, taking action, not giving up on this connection, holding on to this connection, coming towards this connection with the lovers here, and your divine masculine is flying towards you in order to do this together, recognizing with the lovers card here that they want to do this together. Your divine masculine is not giving up. King of Wands. I like the King of Wands here. And I like the King of Wands with the pages because that has this fresh energy, but this is that maturity that we were talking about. This is your divine masculine in his confidence, in his strength, in his authority, in his passion. And that passion is what is propelling him forward. That maturity is what is propelling him forward. But with the pages here, this is that fresh energy. This is that new beginning, but with the maturity of the king. Really, really positive energy here. Really lovely. All right, you guys, I'm going to end with, we're going to go over to the extended. We're going to take a look at divine masculine, divine feminine, head space, heart space, and physical environment, and also see how you're feeling about each other with the romance angels. And we're going to do that over on the Patreon in the extended. But I want to end with some guidance for you guys. I'm going to use the angels, gods, and goddesses. Let's end with this and see if there's anything that you need to know. Okay, is there anything that these sacred partners need to know? Is there anything that these sacred partners need to know? Angel of pleasure. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, first, angel of pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. This is the energy of, you see this, there's this rebirth energy coming out of the water, that purification energy, where you are raising your vibrations, surrendering anything toxic, surrendering any fear, surrendering anything that is still holding you back or seems to be blocking you. This is raising your vibrations to an energy of going towards your dreams, going towards your life, manifesting your life. Take pleasure in the things that you do for you, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you want for yourself, rather than holding on to what others wanted for yourself. Or for divine feminines, what I'm also hearing is, rather than even kind of like bending to the will of your divine masculine, you're letting go of that too. You're surrendering that too, where you're focused on yourself and what brings you pleasure. You're focused on your life and what you want to create. You're both doing this. And what that is doing is you're bringing in this union. Angel of union. A partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. That's this energy here. We also have angel communication. Communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. That's this energy here, that your sacred partnership is divinely guided with the lovers here. You have the angel looking over the two of you. And this is the energy of that free flow of love between you two. Look at how they're both naked. Look at how they're both vulnerable. We were talking about this in the beginning, how divine feminine is so powerful because she is vulnerable, because she is open, because she has let down her guard. Divine masculine is learning how to do that as well, to communicate freely and honestly and openly, to not be afraid of this emotional intimacy, to not be afraid to bond with his divine feminine anymore. And because of that, because you're both focused on what you want for your greatest and highest good, your best and highest timeline to manifest for your life, for your pleasure, for your joy and happiness, for your 10 of cups, because you're focused on that, you're coming into alignment together because of those high vibrations. Because of those high vibrations, because you're both focused on love, you're coming into love in that partnership together. Wow. This full moon is bringing in a very, very powerful transformation. And it's an inner transformation that is going to see you surrendering to that fear, to anything that's holding you back, and just embracing more and more and more love. So as you work through that transformation internally, you're going to start seeing that in your external world. This is a time for great manifestation. And what I've been getting over the past few days is that it really is a new chapter. It really is a brand new book. That door is closed on the past now. And so you can look towards the future, not through the lens of the past pain and past resentment and the past cycle of what you and your partnership had, but towards your future, believing it what it can be, manifesting what you want it to be, and believing in what it will be. And what it will be is this beautiful partnership, this beautiful sacred union, this beautiful flow of love between you two. All right, you guys, that is going to be it. If you're moving over to the Patreon for the extended version, I will see you there. And if not, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon.